if you're going to be president of the United States, you have to win Georgia.
Let's bring in now Nicolee Ambrose, Republican National Committee woman. Nicolee, thanks for being with us. You know, Georgia is such a fascinating state to me. I spent quite a bit of time there during the midterm cycle, and this is a state that rejected Donald Trump's pick for U.S. Senate, but then elected a governor that doesn't get along with Donald Trump. So the question is, could a Georgia indictment really turn off voters to Trump?
Well, the Democrats have something exactly right, and that is that you have to win Georgia to become president of the United States of America. And that is why we see Democrat District Attorney of Fulton County, Georgia, Willis, leading this investigation and leading this prosecution that's coming next week just in time for the 2024 presidential cycle.
So let me ask you, though, I mean, just let's talk about the voters here for a second. I want to pull up this full screen here, call for number 1, and it shows the presidential vote margin in Georgia. So we've been watching this, Nicolee, for the past several years now, where Republicans really have struggled to keep their grip on this state. It's gone from red to now purple, and you really don't know what's going to happen next year. So I guess you tell me, what's causing this?
Sure, you're absolutely right. Actually, Georgia used to be blue, and then it went red, and now it's a swing state. What you'll find, though, is there were a lot of questions in 2020. People are allowed to ask questions in America, from school board to board of elections. And what Georgia did, because they realized they had a problem, was they completely overhauled their elections, and then you had record turnout in 2022. So you absolutely, everyone, Democrats and Republicans alike, are treating Georgia like a swing state. And, you know, you're seeing a tremendous growth in the Atlanta suburbs. And that is why you have District Attorney Willis, a Democrat, working so hard to have this political persecution right in the midst of a presidential election. So will that weigh heavily? Yes.
Yeah, so you're saying you think that it was a huge problem for Republicans after the 2020 election, where folks didn't feel comfortable going and casting their vote in the ballot box because of all the things that the former president was saying. Because I think of Kelly Loeffler and how she lost her Senate seat, and the grassroots movement that she's now working on in Georgia to try to regain all those folks that don't want to go back and vote because they don't trust the system.
Right. So I think what you saw with those election reforms was people feeling much more secure about the process in Georgia, and that's why you had record turnout in 2022. Americans like when they feel their elections are fair and transparent and secure. And so I'm so relieved that Georgia worked to overhaul their system so people could feel secure, and I think that is what led to record turnout. But what you'll also see is there's certainly been a very positive shift in Republican circles, right? There was some hesitancy about absentee ballots. A lot of it wasn't very well handled previously with a COVID onslaught. But now you have Republicans actively working to, and you can go to bankyourvote.com to make sure people vote, whether they vote beforehand. You know, we don't want people to walk away when they see a long line. So, you know, if you're hesitant about, worried about those long lines on Election Day, you can register to get your ballot early and vote, and Republicans are totally
I know you guys are
supportive
pushing that early vote. And really quickly, with just 20 seconds left here, Nicolee, I want to ask you, you know, the one man who does know how to win Georgia Republicans is the governor, Brian Kemp, and he's been telling the GOP field, you know, not to get distracted, which is how he describes it, by these Trump indictments. What do you make of that? Do Georgians want to talk about something else other than the indictments?
Yeah, you're seeing a lot of that, right? Where people, Republicans across the board, just want to focus on winning the election. So I think the more we've got a great bunch of Republican candidates. Everyone's fantastic. I would take every single one of them in front of Joe Biden any day of the week. But absolutely, people just need to focus on what they are going to do for America and how they are going to do it, and that it's a positive message.
We'll see what happens. Nicolee Ambrose, thanks for joining us on your Sunday.
Great to be with you.